The building of temples continues uninterrupted, brothers and sisters. Today is my privilege to announce several new temples. Durban, South Africa.
I bear my testimony, brothers and sisters, that one of the safest places that Heavenly Father has established for the gathering of His people is in the temples of the Lord.
When the temple was announced in 2011,
I was
4, 6,
8,
5, 4,
7,
5, 6, 7,
7,
4,
10.
2.
I was 9 years old.
I'm
18,
12.
17, 14, 15, 12, 11,
13,
16.
14,
13, 15,
18,
13.
12, 17 years old.
My favorite room was the celestial room.
Everything is just so white and beautiful.
The small details,
the chandelier,
the protea.
The gold finishing touches.
Being in a space where you can just think and reflect on stuff and on your Heavenly Father.
It really represents heaven and it's just absolutely amazing.
What I really liked is the purpose of the sealing room.
When they explain the analogy about the mirrors
and how they just go on for eternity.
and how when you're sealed in your family, it is forever.
My favorite room was the baptism room. When I saw the 12 oxen and the baptism pool on top of it, it was just like so amazing.
We are able to do what other people weren't able to do and give them the opportunity to be able to be taught also in the spiritual world.
I liked the bride's room.
It makes the women feel so special.
With the chandelier and the paintings.
And the carpets and everything is just so beautiful.
to think that perhaps one day I will be in the bride's room. It was just, some wonderful thoughts.
The statement on the outside facade of every temple reads this: Holiness to the Lord, the house of the Lord. I testify that all of the temples of the Lord are His sanctuaries here upon the earth.
It was just so peaceful and spiritual. I could really feel the spirit there.
It's just making me feel really happy, and it was just like amazing to be inside.
It brought a peace in my heart knowing that everybody else was just as happy as me to be here.
very peaceful and quiet, and it was a really good experience.
It was so special. Everything is just so, white and beautiful, and I just felt such a spirit.
It was just a good feeling that what I'm doing is right. I'm in the right place. This is where I'm supposed to be.
There's peace inside the temple, and it's the most sacred place I've been to.
I felt comforted and I felt at peace because I knew that I was in a sacred and holy place.
And I felt like I was at home, and I was at one with my Heavenly Father.
I can't explain the feeling that I felt inside the temple, but it was extremely good.
I was overwhelmed by the Spirit, and it truly felt like this is the house of God, and His Spirit resides there.
Most all of you in this congregation can participate in the temple in one way or another. Most all of you can perform baptisms for the dead, for others living on the other side of the veil who are waiting for you and me to serve as proxies for them in this great redemptive work. That is why we build temples, to save the living and the dead.
I have done family history. I've actually done baptism from the dead for my great-grandfather. I felt the Spirit, and I felt that he accepted his baptism.
There are certain family members from my generation that weren't able to do what I'm able to do right now, to give them a chance that one day I may be able to meet them.
When I was 15, I was called to be a branch family historian, so I got to do other people's family history and also be able to do my family history.
I had an aunt a couple of years ago that had died, and I've been working on being able to go to the temple. Hopefully I'll baptize for her here in Durban Temple.
I also wish to do for my granny because I really loved her and she died when I was so young.
I can help my family that has deceased to get baptized for them, and that I can be with them in the next life, and I can be with them forever.
It's been a good experience just writing it down and knowing the people whom my mother knew and the ones who knew her before and before that as well.
I have to visit my family members who don't live here, get those names that I need, so that when the temple is dedicated, I'm going to do all those works.
I found them from my granny because she was there when I was doing my family history, so she was able to help me with the names.
It's very interesting, the experiences they tell you about the different person and their abilities and skills and what they were known for.
We were able to go there and actually get names from them and speak to them about how these people were, how these people are, and it's family history is a very great thing.
You have to have the desire to want to know your family, to want to know where you come from. So the first question is, Mom, who's my grandpa? Who's my grandma? And then from there you'll open the floodgates and then you'll know who your family is.
My view of family history has grown, and I think it's more important for me now to do family history as I've been in the temple.
That encourages me to search more and dig deep in my history.
I invite all of you to attend more frequently as your circumstances permit and claim your blessings, protections, and promises that have been made to you by prophets of God.
Now that the temple is in Durban, I think I can come here every month and every week.
We're probably going to do youth activities here, just probably like every month. I would love to.
Yeah, I have plans to come and do the baptism for the dead. Yeah, and probably getting sealed to my parents, and of course getting married.
I have names, yeah, lots of names. Especially with my grandmother, late grandmother, and my father, so that when the temple is dedicated, I will be able to, go in there and perform this work for them.
No, I don't have it yet, but I'm preparing it.
I did not have any yet, but I spoke to my aunt and she said she'll give me names.
I'm actually currently working with my mom to get ready and be prepared to come and bring it to the Durban temple.
I have been waiting for the temple ever since I went to the Durban, and it's so beautiful.
Set aside time, doesn't matter what you're doing, and it's absolutely worth it to come to the temple.
You'll feel like you are closer to Heavenly Father.
Come to the temple if you want to feel the Spirit, if you want to be even closer to your Heavenly Father.
Come learn more about God and feel His Spirit in the temple.
It's worth it because the temple's just worth it.